pretend to be fine, and honesty takes up.
Okay, so this is my build log on my main rig. It's not so much a build log as it's a taken apart log, because as you can see, I'll just zoom in here, the cable management is just atrocious, because I originally had a gigabyte UD3H or something like that on the Z87 platform, and I upgraded to a Z97 xpower motherboard because I'm planning on getting a Broadwell when those come out, the i7, since I do a lot of video editing, so I thought that'd be useful to have. So also I used a temporary micro ATX motherboard, so I had to get some more slack on the cables, and when I put them back in, when I put the ATX motherboard back in, all the cables were, well, as they are now. And I'm also, as you can see, my SSDs, they're just kind of shoved in the front there, there's nothing holding them down, so I'm going to sort those out and talk a bit more about my rig as I'm doing it. I forgot to mention that I was also going to take out this fan controller. It's as cool as it is, the motherboard's fan control is a lot better, so I'm going to be taking that out, and I've actually got a fan just sitting there. It's not attached to anything, but this case only has one intake down here, and it has to go through these drive cage supports to get through. And I've also, this isn't an official fan mount, I've just velcroed it down here. There's as you can see, there's perforations in the metal in the bottom of the case, so it can get airflow. So I'm trying to get as much intake as I can, because there's tons of exhaust, and we've got a 120 here and two 200mm up here, so just to get some better airflow going on in here. I've also got to, like I said, excuse me, fix these SSDs, and just neaten everything up really, tied it up. I'm going to swap out these red SATA cables with some black ones, and something that's going to be a problem is when you've had cables in a computer, for a while they kind of stiffen up, so it's going to be harder to route them, especially these SATA cables. They're completely stiffened up, if you want to call it like that. So yeah, let's get started. So this is the back of the case. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be actually. It's just all the cables have come out down here into the front of the case, so I need to bring them all up and tidy them up. And yeah, sort of had some trouble getting the side panel closed as well, so hopefully once I clean up the cables it'll be easier and look better and better airflow, yada yada. So if you're wondering about the specs, I'll just turn this around. We've got a CX750W Corsair bronze power supply. We've got a R9 290X double dissipation from XFX. We've got 16 gigs of Crucial Ballistix Smart Tracer tactical Duda memory. We've got some, I don't even know what this is. It's a Freezer Extreme. It's just a really cheap power heatsink that I got, and it, to be honest, it's not that great. It was really cheap, but I suppose you get what you pay for. And I've got 4 Kingston V300 SSDs in RAID 0, and a Caviar Green 3TB drive, and a Blu-ray player, and all that bells and whistles jazz. So I'm gonna gut it now and see how it goes. So that's it, I've completely gutted it, and yeah, it's going to be a bit of a challenge to cable manage all this stuff, but I'll find a way. Unfortunately I can't finish it tonight because I don't have any cable ties, which I remembered thinking, oh, I'll do a video vlog about redoing the cable management in my computer. Oh wait, I haven't got any, I'll do that later then. And then I forgot about it and I was like, you know what, I'll do that video blog now. Then I remembered now that I've got it completely gutted, so I'll need to wait till tomorrow to get some more cable ties and then I can finish it. So yeah, I'm really interested in that GTX 980. I mean, I've got an R9 290X at the moment and it's great for triple monitor surround. I mean, I get like 40 frames in the most demanding games with all the settings at maximum. So 2 cards would guarantee 60 FPS and above. So, and with that, the 980 it has 3 display ports, which means you could run triple Infinity surround with 4K monitors, which would be awesome. But I imagine you need a quad SLI setup to attempt that, and even then you'd have to turn the settings down, but it'd still be cool. So yeah, I'm going to go to bed now, and tomorrow we'll continue where we left off. I forgot to mention a couple of specs. I forgot to mention my processor, which is Intel i5 4670K. It's at stock it's at stock speeds at the moment, but eventually plan on upgrading to Broadwell when that comes out. I mean, it's just something way down the line I'm gonna do. I'm also gonna upgrade the RAM, and I'm gonna get a new case. Speaking of cases, this is a NZXT Phantom full tower. It's the white one, as you can see, and yeah, that's gonna be way down the line. I'm working on another build at the moment, and but a lot of parts that I'm going to be using in it are coming off this, like the memory and the processor and the power supply. So yeah, I'm going for Broadwell because, like I said, it's something I'm going to go with way down the line. And I'm going to get an i7 because when I made this build, it was primarily for gaming. That was like the one thing that I wanted to do, but now that I'm doing a lot of video work and video editing and things like that, I need a bit more juice in the processor area. I know yeah, I had 4 SSDs in RAID 0, but that was just because it was cheaper than buying a larger SSD just to get 4 of them. So I thought I'll just get 4 of them and run them in RAID 0, you know. So that's why I've done that. I'm also replacing them as well because I don't know if you've had any experience with the Kingston V300s, but I think they're terrible. I've had one of them break already. I've not even had them 6 months, but I got that replaced. But still, I'm thinking about going with the Samsung 840 Evos. I hear a lot of good things about them. And yeah, I'm going when I do my like full overhaul of this build, I'm going for a kind of black and yellow, kind of grey kind of colour scheme to go with my motherboard. I haven't overclocked anything yet, like I've said, and I know I've got a overclocking motherboard and everything, so why aren't you overclocking? Well, I just wanted to wait till I get everything water cooled and everything like that so it can get the best results. And yeah, what else? Yeah, like I said, I forgot to get cable ties, so I've ripped it all apart, and now I can't be bothered putting it all back together half-arsed with no cable ties. So tomorrow I'll get some of them and finish building it, and yeah, that's it. Okay, so we're mostly done now. We've got the Holy cable ties earlier today and done some more work. As you can see, there's no bunched up cables anywhere in the front. That's just a USB cable. And it looks a lot better, but on the back, however, it is a nightmare. I was trying to do it all neat and tidy, but the cables are all just the wrong lengths and things like that, and I managed to get my SSD stuck there, and I had the other two stuck here, but my where is it? Here. My Molex to dual SATA kind of broke, so I just had to shove them down there and use the two harnesses on the SATA power cable. So hopefully I'll be able to get this case closed. I mean, yeah, and I've also got to find the two drive bay covers, so I just shoved the fan in there as an intake, and my front intake fan's not on because if I plug it in, you'll hear in a moment. Plug it in. Come on now. Here you go. Yeah, it pretty much runs at full speed because that's the second CPU fan header on the motherboard, and I just can't get to quieten down. I'll try speed fan or something like that to try and get it down. So yeah, it's nice and tidy now. Got some better airflow and all that jazz. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks for watching.